Now, today we are starting new chapter, calorimetry. What is the meaning of calorimetry? Calorie is the word coming from heat, and metry is measurement. So this calorimetry means measurement of heat. How to measure the quantity of heat? It is all about heat energy. So first of all, you should know what is heat. We say heat is a form of energy. Probably they will not ask the definition, but heat is a form of energy. It flows from a body of high temperature to a body of low temperature. Okay. What is the SI unit of heat energy? What is the SI unit? So SI unit of heat is SI unit of heat energy is any kind of energy. SI unit is always joules. We will be writing as joules. And what will be the CGS unit of heat energy? CGS unit is always erg, ERG. So here also you can write erg. But we don't use normally the CGS unit. We go for the another unit. Other unit of heat energy is calorie. Calorie. In short, we write CAL. Calorie. CAL. Cal. Or kilocalories. Normally we use cal. So you can write on the value 1 calorie. 1 calorie makes how much joule? Nearly 4.2 joule approx. Exact value is 4.186. That we are rounding off and writing 4.2 joule approximately. 1 calorie is how much joules? 4.2 joule. A question, I said this question came last year as well, in 2019. Which physical quantity is measured in terms of calorie? The answer is heat energy. If you write heat, or if you just write energy, that also will do. But basically, we should write heat energy. And the second part of the question was, how is it related to its SI unit? How is it related to its SI unit? There we will be writing 1 calorie equal to 4.2 joule. And approximately what we can write, if you want, if you don't write also is okay, but 1 calorie makes 4.2 joule. Now heat depends on, quantity of heat depends on these factors. First factor is mass of the body. It depends on the mass of the body. First factor. Mass means small a. Second factor is nature. Nature of the body. Here you can add a specific heat capacity. A specific heat capacity. Or in short, I write as SHC of the body. SHC of the body. Third factor is the temperature difference. It depends on the temperature difference. Temperature difference of the body. And specific heat capacity of the body we can denote by C, capital C. Temperature difference we denote by the symbol theta. Either we write theta or we can write delta T or delta T. Delta means difference in, T means temperature, difference in temperature. This sign triangle is delta. Delta means change or the difference. The delta T we can write. Here we write a formula of heat given or taken out from a body or extracted from a body. Formula of heat is, that is mc theta. We can write the formula either this way, or we can write H is equal to mc delta T. So either of the way we can express it. The formula of heat given or taken out from a substance or from a body, formula is H is equal to mc theta. If the mass is more, heat is more. They are not directly opposite. If the mass is more, then heat will be more. If the mass is less, heat will be less. You are having a body of greater mass and a body of smaller mass. Which body can absorb larger quantity of heat? The body of larger mass. Larger the mass, greater the quantity it can have. Now about C. C means nature of the body. It depends. We'll take the same mass of different bodies. You will find some body has by nature the ability of absorbing more heat or retaining more heat, and some will be having the capacity of retaining or absorbing less quantity of heat. It is by nature. That's what we say, nature of the body or SHC. It depends upon the value of SHC of that body, the value of C of that body, that particular body. It varies from one type of body to the other type of body, and it depends upon the temperature difference. More the temperature difference, more the quantity of heat it will have. Less the temperature difference, less the amount of heat it will have. Let us take a body of, and we are heating it from 10 to 20 and then again 10 to 100. So other body, there are two bodies. First body we are heating from 10 to 20 and another body we are heating from, mass is same and body's nature is same. Heating it from 10 to 100. So which body will absorb larger quantity of heat? Definitely the body whose temperature difference is more, that is 10 to 101. Temperature difference is 90, so 90 degrees Celsius is the larger range of temperature, larger difference of temperature, so that body will be absorbing larger quantity of heat. So this is the formula of heat. The formula of heat is mc theta, or we can add mc delta T. So either of the way we can express it. Okay, now the definition of a specific heat capacity, the definition. Second part is continuation of this. You can write here definition of SHC, that we are denoting by capital C. How to define a specific heat capacity? The definition is like this. It is the amount of heat. It is the amount of heat. It is the amount of heat required. It is the amount of heat required by a unit mass of the substance. By a unit mass of a substance. To raise its temperature, to raise, RAISE, to raise its temperature through 1 degree Celsius, or through 1 degree Celsius or 1 Kelvin or 1 Kelvin. Then we write the SI unit of SHC is, the SI unit of specific heat capacity is, the SI unit of SHC is, okay, the SHC's SI unit we can find from the equation which I have given. So there is a trick, we can follow this trick. I am just writing the formula first. H is equal to, the formula is mc theta. The H is what? Joule. SI unit. Mass will be kg, that will come down. Theta is the temperature difference. Temperature difference we measure either in terms of degree Celsius or in terms of Kelvin. But the SI unit will be writing in Kelvin. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. So that becomes the unit for C. This M is coming down, theta is coming down. Unit of mass is kg and the unit of theta is Kelvin. That is capital K. That is in terms of the SI unit. Therefore, we write the SI unit of SHC is, we can write as Joule. SI unit of a specific heat capacity is, heat is Joule divided by mass kg divided by temperature difference. Temperature SI unit is Kelvin, so we will be writing like this. Joule, we read this way, Joule per kg per Kelvin. -1 power means per slash. Or if you are not comfortable writing like this, you can write as joules per kg per Kelvin. You write here only kg Kelvin together. This per sign single slash only you have to give. This will count for this and as well as for this. So you don't have to give double slash. If you give double slash, it becomes wrong. You have to give a single slash and write kg Kelvin together. The SI unit of specific capacity is joules per kg per Kelvin, or we can write like joule per kg per Kelvin only you will read, but writing time, if you are using a slash, you have to write it together. Don't give double slash. So this is the SI unit of specific heat capacity. The CGS unit, of the other unit you can write CGS unit is joule per gram per degree Celsius unit. Joule per gram per degree Celsius. Instead of CGS or other units you can write, or other units. Other unit is this, and calorie per gram per degree Celsius. This way we write, either this way or this way. But the SI unit is the most important of all, because in ICC they will be dealing with only the SI unit. They will be focusing on the SI unit mainly. So we will be writing as joules per kg per Kelvin. By chance during exam time if you have forgotten, then still you can just write down the formula of heat. Heat formula is mc theta, and from this formula you can find the unit of C, that is m and theta is going to come down. Heat SI unit is joule, mass is kg, I write it down, theta is Kelvin, that also will come down, in divide. So the unit become known joule per kg per Kelvin. So that is how during exam time also you can write it down. You can derive and write it down there. Okay, now the value of SHC of some of the common substances. Just have an idea about it at first, and then I will give some values. Solid, there are three states of matter, we know: solid, liquid and gas. In which state a solid will have the highest value of SHC? The highest value of SHC will be in the gaseous form, in the gaseous state, and the lowest value will be in the solid form, in the solid state. Good conductor will have low value of SHC, whereas bad conductor or poor conductor will have high value of SHC. So you can write down this point, put an asterisk and write down. Generally good conductors have low SHC, low SHC, and the bad conductor have high SHC. And what is the reason behind why good conductor have low value of SHC? SHC means the amount of heat needed to raise temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Good conductor, temperature rises quickly. The temperature of good conductor rises quickly, but without absorbing or without keeping greater amount of heat. Little bit amount of heat only you supply, its temperature keeps changing. So that means the substance or the solid or the good conductor generally, or the metals, they do not retain or they do not absorb large quantity of heat. Without absorbing large quantity of heat, their temperature is rising quickly, their temperature is changing quickly out there. And what is the reason behind? Because when you supply the heat gets conducted through the body. So that's why the heat, it does not give so much, rather its temperature changes quickly. So you must have observed, suppose you are having some liquid, maybe water there, and then some metal is there, and try to supply the amount of heat for equal period of time in both. You will find that the water is taking longer time for the rise of temperature. Its temperature will change slowly there, whereas metal temperature will change quickly. but without storing greater quantity of heat. Its temperature is only changing quickly, and when you allow them to cool, it is metal only that will cool faster. So the process of temperature rise and the temperature fall both will be quicker in case of a good conductor. That conductor is keeping less quantity of low value of SHC. That is less quantity of heat only is containing. So it is absorbing less quantity of heat and is losing also as fast as possible because it hasn't contained greater quantity of heat. Whereas in case of water or in case of liquid is going to absorb large quantity of heat, then only its temperature will rise slowly to rise. But once it rises, because it has contained greater amount of heat, if you allow it to cool, it will not lose the heat faster. So because it has contained larger quantity of heat, it will be losing the heat slowly. That's why temperature fall also will take place slowly. If they ask you give a reason, or this type of question has come many times in ICC, we have the formula H is equal to mc theta. C and theta, they are inversely proportional. C is inversely proportional to theta. Since C is specific capacity is inversely proportional to theta, or we can add theta is inversely proportional to C, like this. So if the C is more, temperature difference will be less, then its rise of temperature will be less or fall of temperature will be less. If the C is less, then the rise of temperature will be more. Like in metals, the value of C is low, then the temperature rise is more, or temperature fall is more. Theta is temperature difference. It can go the other way also. Like it can be temperature rise or it can be temperature fall. The difference can be there in both the cases, either absorbing heat or losing heat. In both the case, the temperature difference you will find, and that depends upon the value of C. So generally, the value of good conductors, that means solids, normally metals, they have low value of SHC, and the gas normally will have the very high value of SHC. If they have given like this, a body A and another body B is there. Body A and body B is given equal amount of heat, and the temperature rise in A is 20 degrees Celsius and in B is 60 degrees Celsius. Temperature rise. Find which of the body is having larger value of SHC. Which value will have the larger value of C? So the answer will be A. A is the answer, because the temperature change is less. If the temperature change is less, the value of C will be more. If the temperature change is more, then the value of C will be less. That means they are inversely proportional. That is, which of the two bodies will be containing larger quantity of heat? In case of the body A and in case of the body B, because the C value is more over here, that is the body A is storing larger quantity of heat than B, provided that both of the body are heated for equal period of time. So body, if you supply the amount of heat for equal time, you will find that the body is absorbing larger quantity of heat, then its temperature is changing by less margin. Whereas the temperature of the body B, for the same period of time, its temperature is only rising quickly, but it has not contained larger quantity of heat. So that is how you can differentiate. Theta value for this is this much and theta value for this is this much. If the theta value is less, the value of C will be more. If the theta value is more, then the value of C will be less. They are inversely proportional. So this is how you can relate. Among the common substance, it is water. Water has very high value of SHC. This is an important point. Among the common substance, we find water. That makes water very, very important. It is very useful for us because of one of the reasons is this also. It has very high value of SHC. And what is that value? I will write on the value. SHC of water. SHC of water equal to, the value is 4200 joule per kg per kg. Or in the other unit we write 4.2 joule per gram per degree Celsius. Or in calorie we write 1 calorie per gram per degree Celsius. This is how we write down these are the values of SHC of water in different system of units. This is in SI system, this is in CJ system, this is calorie system. But it is all equal. So you can check it from these values. If question comes, what does it mean? The SHC of water is 4200 joule per kg per Kelvin or per degree Celsius. What is the meaning of this? We say this statement means that 1 kg of this substance, 1 kg of water requires 4200 joule of heat, 4200 joule of heat to raise temperature, because when you amount of heat is required, that means you are supplying the heat to raise its temperature through 1 Kelvin or through 1 degree Celsius. Through 1 degree Celsius. Just to change the temperature by 1 degree Celsius, how much heat is required or how much heat needs to be supplied? We say this one 4200 joule per kg per Kelvin. This value is quite high in comparison to the other type of body. So good conductors such as copper and all, they have got very low value. I'll just give an example. SHC of copper, you don't have to remember, but just have an idea of it. SHC of copper is only 400 joule per kg per Kelvin. That means to change the temperature of copper by 1 Kelvin or 1 kg of copper, how much joule of heat is required? 400 joule is required. But here 4200, we are 400 and we are 4200. Just compare the two values. This value is much higher. That is, water has got one of the greatest value of SHC, highest value of specific heat capacity, and that makes water very, very important. So you can write a statement type. Question may come this way: the SHC of write a statement. The SHC of aluminium is 2.9 joule per gram per degree Celsius. Put the sentence in the inverted comma. What do you mean by this statement? What do you mean by this statement? That is the question. So how do we answer this question? We say this statement means that it is given in grams. We will be using gram. This statement means that 1 gram of aluminium, because it is all about aluminium, 1 gram of aluminium requires 2.9 joule of heat, 2.9 joule of heat to raise its temperature through 1 degree Celsius, through this value, through 1 degree Celsius. So this is the meaning of this statement. Among the metals or among the solid, it is aluminium which has very high value. Among the liquid, it is water which has very high value. And among the gas, it is hydrogen gas which has the highest value. So in the nature, the highest value hydrogen gas has, but hydrogen gas normally we don't use. And water is abundantly available everywhere, so we are using water, and that high SHC of water makes water very, very useful by nature. The high specific heat capacity is capacity of storing heat. That is, capacity of storing heat in water is much large as compared to the any other common substances around us. So that makes water very, very useful. So this type of question you may expect. The substance whose temperature will change quickly will have low value because they are good conductor. That's why it is not absorbing larger quantity, but rather its temperature is only changing fast. You can see, you must have observed it. Suppose we take 1 kg of oil and 1 kg of water, and we will be trying to heat them for same period of time. You will find that the oil gets heated up faster, even it cools also faster, whereas water does not get heated up that fast. It takes very long time for the water to get heated up to, reach the boiling point, or if you are trying to boil it. And it will again take longer time to cool it. So why it is so? Because the heat storing capacity of water is very large. by nature water has very large value of SHC, and the value I have already given, 4200 joules per kg per Kelvin, or 4.2 joule per gram per degree Celsius, or 1 calorie per gram per degree Celsius. So I have already given you the value. So that is about the SHC, or specific heat capacity. In short, I am saying SHC, but the full form is a specific heat capacity that depends upon the nature. The value of C we cannot change. The value of C we cannot change. It is by nature, so that value we cannot change. It depends upon the type of substance, and on the basis of experiments and practical. So the values are determined, and the value came that much. The value which I have written here. Among the solid, it is aluminium which has got one of the highest value, and among the liquid it is water, and among the gas it is hydrogen which has very large value of SHG. Now the next heading you can give is heat or thermal capacity. Heat or thermal capacity. Heat or thermal capacity denoted by the symbol C dash, capital C and on top dash. Heat or thermal capacity. So let us add a definition of this. It is the quantity of heat. It is the quantity of heat required. It is the quantity of heat required per degree Celsius, per degree C, you can write degree C, per degree Celsius rise in temperature. Per degree Celsius rise in temperature. Per degree Celsius rise in temperature. Therefore, write the formula. Therefore, C dash formula, we have heat upon temperature rise. Temperature rise we denote by either theta or delta T. So we can write C dash formula, we can write heat upon temperature rise, H upon theta. Okay, this is first formula of C dash. We will continue from here a little bit. H value we can write here MC theta as you have got just now, and this is theta cancel. The C dash value will become MC. So there are two formulas for heat capacity or thermal capacity. This first formula is heat upon temperature, and other formula is M into C. That means thermal capacity we can change by changing the mass of the body. Heat capacity is also, it is the capacity of a substance to store heat. But here we don't take the specific mass. Specific what is unit mass? Unit is either 1 kg or 1 gram we are using only. So here mass we can take any. We can take even 10 kg, 30 kg. We can increase the mass. When you increase the mass, the storing capacity increases. I mean the heat capacity increases. SHC and this one, the difference is the mass. Here we take a unit mass. In a specific time we take unit mass, and here we don't take the mass. SHC does not depend on the mass, neither it depends upon the value of theta. Whereas heat capacity or thermal capacity depends upon the value of theta. How does it depend? Inversely proportional. Larger the value of theta, lesser the value of heat capacity. Just the opposite. And it also depends upon the mass. Larger the mass, larger the heat capacity. Lesser the mass, lesser the heat capacity. You can make a point, write it down. The heat capacity of a body, the heat capacity of a body can be changed. By changing the mass of the body. Because of this formula, we'll find the SI unit, right? SI unit of heat capacity is heat means thermal capacity, that is C dash equal to we can follow the formula. Heat upon temperature. Heat means joule. Temperature is Kelvin. So we write joule per Kelvin. Joule per Kelvin. We don't write kg here because this time kg can be any. We don't take unit mass. So joule per Kelvin. And the other unit we can write other unit of heat capacity equal to joule per degree Celsius. But the SI unit mainly will bother. If question comes, give the SI unit of heat capacity or thermal capacity, you write joule per Kelvin. You can check it from the formula heat upon temperature, joule per Kelvin. And what is the SI unit of SSC? Joule per kg per Kelvin. This thing you can even write as J K minus 1. This also you can write joule per Kelvin. Heat capacity we can change. How can we change heat capacity value? By changing the mass of the body. How can we change the SHC of the body? That we cannot change. It is by nature we cannot change the value of C. The value of C is fixed depending upon the nature of the body. So what kind of body we are having? It is water which has the very high value or one of the highest value among the common substance. SHC high value, that means it will have large capacity, it will have higher capacity of storing heat, or it will lose also the heat slowly only because it has contained larger quantity of heat. It will not cool also faster. Temperature rise and temperature fall both will take place slower there because it has contained larger quantity of heat because of the larger value of HHC. Okay, now temperature and the heat are the same thing or they are different thing? The answer is they are different. We have the point of differences between heat and temperature. We have the point of differences between heat and temperature. So you can make a difference column here and write down one side you can write heat, another side you can write temperature. Here you can write heat, here you can write temperature. Point number 1. We write on heat side, we write it is the form of energy. Heat is the form of energy. Other side we write point number 1. It is a degree of hotness or coldness in a body. It is a degree of hotness or coldness in a body. It is a degree of hotness or coldness in a body. Number 2, point number 2, its SI unit of heat is joules because it is a form of energy. Temperature side you can its SI unit is K, capital K, Kelvin. Its SI unit is Kelvin, the other side. Third point. What heat you are adding? It is measured by calorimeter. It is measured by a container actually. It is measured by a container called calorimeter. And other side you can, it is measured by thermometer. So these are the 3 point of differences normally we have between heat and temperature. So they are not the same thing, they are different thing. So if the temperature high, it doesn't mean that it has contained large quantity of heat. Normally if the temperature rise is quicker, that means it contains less quantity of heat. And the temperature rise is slower and is taking longer time to change the temperature, that means that body is going to store or that body is absorbing larger quantity of heat. Then its temperature is slowly changing. So that is the idea behind it. Okay, today our lesson is this much.